Oh, yes. It took me a minute. Sorry about that, Roxy. Sorry about that. That's Roxy. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Now we're live. Yes. How exciting. Thought I had everything ready. I didn't. Apologies. Here we are. Magnetic speaking. It is time. It is time. There is no opportunity left. There is no window left for not speaking with authority, clarity, hope, and coherence. There is so much chaos in our external world and perhaps in our internal world. And if so, that internal chaos keeps us from being able to speak with confidence and authority, conviction in a way that is life-giving and life-generating to the world around us. But in a world where people are living in chaos and many do not have the coherence within themselves to create a stronger life, to create clarity and hope. In a world where most people are living in such turmoil inside themselves, they are looking outside themselves for guidance and leadership and hope. And they will follow whoever has it to offer in a way that is as close as possible to their current internal state or the one that they can perceive themselves embodying. And if we, as healers and helpers and earth tenders, are living in the same state as those around us, then how can we, in fact, be a voice of leadership, of encouragement? How can we bring the hope and the healing that the world needs if we ourselves are living in the same state as those around us? But if we have a gift, if we have a healing that is needed by the world around us, and we do not step into that coherent state, that magnetic state of our being with confidence to speak it, then how can we be leaders to those who are seeking a leader? And if we are not the leaders, then what leaders will they find? Is it any surprise then that our world is in the chaotic state that it is in if those with the coherence and who have taken the roles of leadership are those who do not have the best of all in their heart and mind and intention? If there is to be hope for this world and our current state of humanity and the way that humanity has interacted with the natural world around us, if there is to be any change, then those who can speak life and healing must learn how to speak it with more magnetism, with more clarity, with more certainty, with more hope, with more coherence and greater magnetism. We must not continue to be silent, and we don't need to be like Sheila is. But if you do not have the conviction yet of who you are and who you are in and to this world, then let me help you find your voice. And let me give you the permission and the structures that will help you to step into your role as a leader who doesn't dictate, who doesn't control, but who empowers and who guides and who offers and invites a way of being into a greater level of wholeness that is for each individual human. Because if we, as each individual human, were to be expressing our truth, our inner truth, our enthusiasm, our excitement, our passion for the things that we care about, if we are willing to take risks to be in relationship with others, and to invite others into relationship with us. If we are able to cast a vision for something greater on an individual and a corporate universal level, if more and more of us can step into this truth, this integrity of energy, then how then could the world change? At the very least, because we will not be swayed by those who do not have our best interest at heart. When we can step into our own coherence, our own magnetic presence and energy, when we know what that feels like, when we know the experience of that energy, then why would we need or desire to experience it vicariously through someone else? It is time for us to stop outsourcing our living and instead to become fully alive within ourselves, which is the wound that is the source, the root of so much distress and destruction in this world around us. And if we who have the heart of love and service do not, and if we do not show a different example of vibrancy and life and vitality and passion and enthusiasm and magnetism to the world, then who will they follow if not who they are already following? It is time for us to take our place and to supersede, to take over the places that have been filled by others before us who do not actually care about the human beings and the lives and the generative activity, the expansion of those whose money they are taking. And it is not the money that is the evil, but it is the commoditization of humanity and creation that is destructive, non-generative. And this is what we call evil, because that is the word that is familiar and consistent. But it is not the energy's fault. The word evil is not beneficial to use, even though it is destructive. And how do we become the magnetic one whose message is inspiring, enthralling? That is the vision. There is a word, there is a scripture in the Christian Bible, Old Testament perhaps even. My people perish for the lack of a vision. I maintain that that is still true. And the vision that we need is that of being of a generative nature, of being full of life that gives life, and the vision, the expression, the motivation, the inspiration towards life. And life is not extraction or coercion or control. or domination. It is vitality. It is expansion. It is awe. It is beauty. It is life and the honoring of life itself, the experience of life in all of its messiness. And how will you become a magnetic speaker? Be with me for a moment while I pause and grab a tissue. We do it by being centered and still and present and coherent in the moment, whatever the moment may entail. We don't rely on AI to tell our stories for us. But I do digress, do I not? But I do hope that you've had the experience of what it is to be with someone on the path, in the journey of magnetism, of coherence, of being one who gives of themselves for relationship. A magnetic speaker is one who invites relationship. Why you? Because you are unique. We are each unique. Because you are here and willing and present, and you are seeking, and you know that you have a life experience that you want to share. If not the past to be a story, then the future to be an experience. Why you? Because each of us is needed. Why you? Because you've already been doing the work. Why you? Because you. There is only one you. There is only one you. And who can tell you that in a way that you feel it? Not to perform. And you don't want to perform, but you want to be heard. You want to be seen and you want to be known. And so do the people around you. People that all of the speakers that you can think of, Simon Sinek, Brene Brown, Tony Robbins, all of those, they will never know the people that you know. You want to lead a room? You want people to, you want to lead a room, which implies that people will follow you? Be a person for them to follow. Be a person who gives your energy to them and your vision, not only of the future, but of who they are. You can do that for your people in a way that is beyond anything that you have yet experienced. I swear to you. Because if this little girl who loved life but was afraid of it because she had been taught that it wasn't safe, and she had been taught that people weren't safe, so that at the age of 12, I tell this story, I maintain that it was true for the person that I was then. I would not have spoken to a stranger to save my life, literally. And now I know that the belief that I held that I had something that I was supposed to do, something significant, and I've been unsure. Because how could it possibly be this thing? How could it be this? But this I have learned to do. Because I was committed to the vision, to this little seed inside me that knew that there was something I am here. I need to do for people. You do too. You don't have to do it my way, but you do need to do it in a bigger way, in a more coherent way, in a more magnetic way, because your voice is needed to create more life in this world around you. Why you? Why love? Why today's topic? Why fall in love? Because most of us have experienced it at some level, I hope. And many times when I had the experience of falling in love, it was bittersweet. It had a particular pain along with it. And that was because I believed that it wasn't really for me and that wouldn't really last. And guess what? I created that really well. But I created it for the experience of it. And I have had the experience of falling in love. And falling in love changes your focus. It changes who you're willing to be, who you experience yourself as being. Falling in love helps you see yourself in a different way. It helps you to see possibilities that you had hoped for, perhaps, but you hadn't yet seen as actual possibilities. It changes your energy. It changes how you show up when you're falling in love with another person. But what if you're falling in love with yourself? What if you fall in love with who you are? What if you fall in love with your life? What if you live in such a way that you accept all of the past and you let it go? You accept who you've been and you free yourself from it. What if you fall in love with this moment, with who you are being, with what life is offering you in this moment? And when I had my near-death experience, I had the opportunity to really experience that, what that love is like. So I have a privilege, I have a benefit that experience has given me of being so loved and of knowing that I get to choose in every moment to continue or to not continue. And I get to choose who I am going to be, and I know that I am loved no matter who I choose to be and how I choose to act and how I choose to show up. And the same is true for you. The same is true for us all. But love allows us the freedom, the clarity to not have to be limited by the past or what we thought the future needed to be or what we thought the rules were. Love negates, neutralizes the rules. Love allows all things to be possible. Love allows you to choose. Love allows you to be present. Love allows you to let go of what is no longer serving you. And when you can come to that coherence within your own self, within your own energy and who you are, and you can give that gift to the people around you, the people you speak to, the people you want to serve, when you can live your life from a state of being love, when you will do that, do you not know in your gut, as I say it, that people will desire that experience for themselves. And they will be ready to follow you, to learn from you, to love you, to be with you. And I somehow feel I have to say this out loud so that I know that I have said it. Because people can manipulate. We can manipulate our way of being with our intention. Sometimes it's unconscious. I think many times it's unconscious, and far too often it is conscious. And the people who would consciously manipulate to become a leader and to have people follow them, those are not my people. Those are not my people. And this is where discernment and the capacity to hear the small, minute inflections, to hear, to see, to feel, and to respond accordingly, appropriately, are so critical. Love is critical because it is pure, and the intention is pure, and the expansion is pure, and the life-giving potential is pure. Why your voice? Your voice is the your voice is the expression of your soul. Your voice tells the truth about your internal state. Whatever your voice is communicating, it's going to be the truth. It may be conscious or unconscious on your part. It may be conscious or unconscious on the part of the listener, but it is truth. And when you begin to pay attention to people's voices, along with their mannerisms and their words and everything else, you begin to see a more complete picture when you raise your sensitivity to a person's voice, their physical voice, their metaphorical voice. Who are you being? What words are you using? How are you expressing? How does your voice make me feel in your presence? The voice is the expression, the external representation of the internal truth of the soul. Why now? This one's pretty self-explanatory, is it not? We have the technology. We have technology that we've created that has the potential to bulldoze every good thing about humanity, except for the fact that there still and always will be good things about humanity. But that which we've created is under attack by those who do not desire the best for all people, but are willing to use people for their own benefit. Why now? It's my now. There are other nows. Your voice is needed now. Now. Do we wish that we had started sooner? Yes. Did we start sooner? Yes. Now is the now. We understand things now that we haven't understood in the past. We understand things now that we have to understand now so that we can understand something new in the future. Now, there is no time other than now. Now is the time. Now is the moment. Now is what we have. And now is when I'm inviting you to my next session, which will be tomorrow. In this case, Saturday, June 27th. I will be recording the session. It will be on Zoom. It may or may not be available as a recording. While I'm here on this live and that's real and that's true, I don't like putting my people. So you may or may not have access to the recording, but get in touch with me as a human being and we will see what we can do. And if you can show up live, you can just imagine that this is so much better live. It always is when we're face to face and when we're analog. And if we can be in person physically, even better. But in the meantime, here we are. Here we are. Friend, if you've stuck with me, I know that you have an amazing heart. And I look forward to getting to know you and sharing heart to heart. Let's do this thing. Let's do it now. Now is what we have. Now is what we are here for. Now. I'll see you. It's going to take me a minute here, apparently.